Hello Yu-Gi-Oh players, this is Mr. Susko Dragon, part of Teamwataponuk UK here. This is the third installment of my mini-series of what to put in your Elemental Hero deck. First of all, we're going to go through some of the cards that I chose specifically that may go in your Elemental Hero deck, and then I'll explain why. You've got Polarization, Miracle Fusion, Future Fusion, and Super Poly. Of course, Parallel World Fusion doesn't come out yet to the 21st of October because Konami have put the date back. Damn you, Konami! Sorry. Mask Change. That basically is an ultimate of A Hero Lives, Heroes Bond, and Equal. So first of all, we're just going to quickly go through them and explain why I think this should go in an Elemental Hero deck. Polarization is a good must. I mean, basically, it was used basically as an old school card. I mean, it's been used so many times. If you have the cards in your hand specifically and you use Polarization, you can fuse it together. Any two types of monsters. Miracle Fusion is basically good when you've already used a Polarization card and ditched the card to the graveyard. If you're unsuccessful, Miracle Fusion is an added bonus because then you just use those cards and remove them for play and fusion summon. Future Fusion. Future Fusion is a brilliant card. You ditch cards from your deck to the graveyard. I basically get to fusion summon. Of course, if someone MSTs the Future Fusion and you have a Miracle Fusion in your hand, it works both ways really. So those Miracle Fusion and Future Fusion work both hand in hand. Super Poly. Super Poly is a brilliant card. For a cost of discarding one card, this card cannot be negated and you can fusion summon straight away. And also, it's a quick play spell card. So if you summon an Elemental Hero monster and you set Super Poly and then end your turn, and say your opponent basically brings out a water type monster, you activate Super Poly. They try and activate a Dark Bribe or a negation card. Whoops, I'm sorry, you can't do that. So then you get to fusion summon into Absolute Zero, which screws over your opponent because they cannot negate this card. And this card is brilliant. And only just for one card to be discarded, so that is a brilliant card. Oversoul, basically, it depends what type of Elemental Hero build you're using. I mean, a lot of people probably use the normal monsters, or some of them may use King of the Swamp. Either way, Oversoul is a brilliant card. If you've already got one Elemental Hero monster on the field, and basically you have, Polarization in your hand, basically, Oversoul is brilliant to bring one of those cards back from the graveyard, like Avion, Burstinatrix, Clayman, or Sparkman, and then you can fuse them together. Mask Change. Mask Change, to me, is an interesting card. I mean, you can go for Mask Hero Vapor, or you can go for Mask Hero Gokka. Those two are not too bad cards. I mean, Mask Change is probably just a card I'd stick in there just for fun. I wouldn't say it was good for anything else really. It's not a bad card, but with the two Mask Hero cards that are out there, I wouldn't say they're that good at all. A Hero Lives, if you can actually see the card, there you go, it's just ultimate. Basically, this card's an interesting card. I mean, if you've basically got nothing at all, and like you've got no monsters on the field, you pay half of your life points to bring one special summon one level 4 Elemental Hero monster from your deck. So sometimes, if you've got nothing on the field, basically all you do is activate that card, special summon one from your deck. Basically, then summon another monster and activate, Miracle Fusion or a Polarization and fuse them together to make a fusion monster. This card I think should go in an Elemental Hero deck because it's really, really good. In some situations, someone may Dark Hole the field, Torrential the field, and if you're on bare minimal life points, half of your life points is going to be nothing. It's basically like a solemn judgment for Elemental Heroes in a certain way. You pay half your life points to special summon a monster, which in my eyes I think is good, but long as you only use this card if you've really got bare life points. If you've got under like 500 life points, this card's not really going to cost you much. And if it's going for a game changer, then this card would be very, very interesting. Next we move on to Heroes Bond. Now, I've used this card a few times when I've been playing my old school Elemental Hero deck, and sometimes this card comes in pretty handy. You activate this card when an Elemental Hero, Destiny Hero, or Evil Hero monster is faced upon the field. You can special summon 2 level 4 or lower Elemental Hero monsters from your hand. So basically, it's specific. It's not very specifically designated one type of hero monster, so you can have an elemental hero or a Destiny or an Evo hero. So it makes it even easier for you to basically synchro if you're having a synchro type of elemental hero deck, or you can exceed, or basically you can just fuse together with, polymerization again. So there's so many different ways. I mean, if you have the cards in your hand, it's a good thing to have. I mean, if you got the card you need, brilliant, use this card. I mean, I've used this card so many times and it's changed the game a lot. Especially if you mix the heroes together, of course. And then, not by least the last card, is the must staple card in every elemental hero deck, Emergency Call. One monster from your deck to your hand that includes elemental hero in its card name. Now this card is a brilliant recruiter. I mean, it's basically the same as Rota really, but for elemental hero monsters. Sometimes if you don't have those elemental hero cards you really want in your hand, and you have basically a polymerization in your hand, or a super poly, you basically activate this card and bring one of those elemental hero cards you need, set the super poly, or activate the polymerization, and fuse those cards together. So elemental hero is a must. I mean, everyone should run this basically in threes, to be honest, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a crappy hand, and you're going to need something decent basically to recruit your hand and replenish it. And Equal is probably the best card. Now, I only know this is a few of the specific cards that you could use. There are certainly more, of course, with the staple cards out there. But these are the few cards that I thought that would be interesting to see people playing. I'll probably play a few of these cards because I've played them already and they've worked out pretty well so far. So I'd like to hear your comments underneath, and please tell me if you think any other card that should be used. This is Mr. Sasko Dragon out.